Hello everyone, welcome to this tutorial for the Innovation Fund 2025 Call and Auctions. CINEA has produced a series of tutorials to help you throughout the application process. This tutorial presents the instructions for coordinators on how to fill in Part C. Part C plays a crucial role as it includes project data related to key performance indicators. Let's begin by understanding what Part C is and how to fill it in.
Part C contains project data and reports on the project's contribution to EU program key performance indicators. This section must be filled in directly online and includes the following group of indicators: location of the demonstration or implementation site, project type and sector, output, result, and impact indicators, such as the GHG emission avoidance, employment, investments, and others. These indicators help assess the project's overall alignment with the program objectives. In order to access and complete Part C, go to the Funding and Tenders portal, which is the online submission system. Navigate to the Administrative Forms area within the submission platform. Locate the Edit Part C button as highlighted on the screen. Please click this button to enter and edit the relevant sections. To correctly fill in Part C, please follow these guidelines. Ensure that all mandatory fields marked with an asterisk are properly completed. Why accuracy is important? Precise KPI values are crucial as they play a role at the proposal's evaluation process. Please use the built-in guidance. If you're unsure about what to enter, you can hover your mouse over the question mark, the blue question mark icon next to each field to view additional instruction. Ensuring consistency at this stage will help streamline the submission and evaluation process. When you have filled in all of the requested information, the Save Data button at the bottom right becomes active. When you have finished, please press Save Data and then Close. As we proceed, here are some useful tips and important points to keep in mind while completing Part C. The next slides will provide specific guidance on critical elements that require attention. Ensure that you follow these recommendations to avoid errors and inconsistency in your submission. Pay close attention to alignment, formatting, and category selection to ensure data accuracy. With that in mind, let's move on to the specific elements of Part C that require careful handling. The first is about location. Coordinates must be entered in decimal degrees format. Latitude values are between -90 and 90 with at least 4 decimal places, while longitude values are between -180 and +180 with at least 4 decimal values. The type of project indicator must match what is used in the GHG methodology. The next important indicator is the project sector. Where possible, ensure that the sector classification is the same as in the GHG methodology and fix keyword 1 in Part A of the application form. Please avoid selecting Other as an option unless it is absolutely necessary. This slide presents the indicators that are related to the impact on the environment and the project innovation. There are 2 indicator groups for the project's GHG emission avoidance, one related to the estimated emission avoidance and the other that will be filled in during the monitoring period of the project. For planned values, use the figures provided in the GHG calculator. Achieved values should be left empty as they are not applicable at the proposal stage. The next set of indicators is about the innovation. Please choose the main project innovation. A project can have up to 3 types of innovations in line with the description of the project's degree of innovation. Ensure that values are consistent with the degree of innovation described in the proposal. Again, in this indicator about innovation, please avoid selecting other unless absolutely necessary. This slide presents the available options to select the climate mitigation technology pathways. Climate mitigation technology pathways refer to various routes or strategies that can be adopted to reduce or mitigate the impacts on climate change. These pathways involve the development, deployment, and widespread adoption of technologies that contribute to the reduction of greenhouse gas emissions and the overall mitigation of climate change. Choose the primary technology responsible for GHG emission avoidance, ensuring it aligns with the main innovation of your project. A project can have one or several pathways. Please choose up to 5 pathways from the available list which correspond most closely to the main innovation. Avoid other unless no predefined category applies. This slide presents the indicators about the product of the project. Please choose the main principal product in terms of the main aim and innovation of the project. More guidance can be found in the methodology for GHG emission avoidance. Please indicate the expected volume of the principal product over the project lifetime and not just the monitoring period. Next, provide the reference expected market price per unit over the project's lifetime. The next indicator reflects the average premium expected to be received over the market price over the project lifetime for one unit sold. And finally, at the cost of production per unit, report the discounted cost per unit as defined in the financial information file. Complete these KPIs, making sure that the values are in euro. Financial close and entry into operation date reflect the innovation maturity and the project readiness. Financial close is the date on which all project and financing agreements will have been signed and all required conditions met. Entry into operation date is the date on which commissioning of project is anticipated to be achieved and all systems required for the operation of the project will have been tested. The next day after entry into operation, the GHG emission avoidance monitoring period begins. The dates that you enter into these two indicators must follow the specific format. First the day, followed by the month, and finally 4 digits for the year, using the last day of the respective reporting period. The next group of indicators that needs your attention are the financial indicators. Overall, ensure that financial indicators align with information included at the financial information file. Double-check that granularity levels are consistent across documents. CapEx, OpEx, and the project total relevant cost should be reported in euro, not in thousands of euro, and figures must not be rounded. Let's now move on to one indicator at the socioeconomic benefits of the project. The indicator that reflects the gross value added is defined as the total turnover of the project minus the cost of goods and services over the project lifetime. Last but not least, in this slide, the indicators related to the mobilized investments are presented. These include the financing sources provided by existing stakeholders and by external equity investors, or by senior and junior lenders at the level of the project where relevant. The values inserted should refer to any of the phases of the project implementation: development, construction, and operation. Overall, the private financing mobilized is equal to the equity plus the debt. Do not include in this indicator public funding or innovation fund grants. Overall, you must not enter zero for both private and public mobilized investment fields. At least one must be filled in. Additionally, Please indicate if the current project technology is planning to receive or has already received support from other EU, national, or regional funding programs. The encoded values should again refer to any of the phases of the project implementation: development, construction, and operation. Finally, to avoid errors, pay particular attention to the following final checks. Ensure accuracy consistency. Double-check that your figures match those submitted in other sections of the proposal. The online system provides specific instruction for every indicator. Please read carefully these instructions and make sure that your input is according to this guidance. Overall, this additional clarification from this presentation aim to help you avoid common occurring errors. Taking this into consideration will strengthen the completeness and accuracy of your submission. If you have any questions or uncertainties, seek clarification before finalizing your submission. By following these guidelines, you will ensure that your submission meets all quality, accuracy, and compliance standards for your KPIs. A well-prepared Part C strengthens your proposal and contributes to a clerical error-free evaluation process. Thank you for your attention, and we appreciate your efforts in completing Part C with care and precision.